process. That process is being led by Ms. Ramona Tyson, and I'll call Ms. Tyson to the forward to provide an update.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Thurman. Dr. Johnson, members of the board, under the direction of Mr. Thurman, Mr. Thurman brought a recommendation to the board on August the 5th, and the board approved Georgia School Board Association, also known as GSBA, in conjunction with the Georgia Leadership Institute of School Improvement, also known as GLISI, to partner with the DeKalb County School District in a two-part strategic planning initiative. The contract has been executed, and the planning work is underway to launch the strategic planning activities. This month will begin monthly reports to the board and the public of the work in progress towards the completion and, more importantly, the execution of the strategic plan. You have been given a copy, and it is labeled Exhibit B, Revised Project Plan. And this project business model is provided to you to provide a high-level overview of tasks that will occur over the 2013-2014 school year. Again, we will provide status reports for the public, and we will do that on the website so that the public, everyone, at any time can point and click and track the progress of the strategic planning initiative. At this time, I'm going to ask Dr. Pringle and Mr. Arnold to provide more detailed information regarding the phases that are about to begin along this year-long process. Dr. Pringle.
Good evening, Dr. Johnson, members of the board, Mr. Thurman. I will provide an overview of re-engagement in the strategic planning process. The strategic planning process is divided into 4 phases and supported by the Georgia School Boards Association and the Georgia Leadership Institute of School Improvement. Phase 1 has and will include opportunities for community engagement, intense work from the planning team to identify strategic goal areas, and an expansion of that work from action teams in the form of performance objectives and measures. I want to pause to tell you the difference a little bit about the community engagement this time around with GSBA versus the last time that we engaged GSBA. In the initial strategic planning phase in the fall of 2011, we had community engagement opportunities which brought large groups of people together as a listening session to really engage them in conversation about the direction of the district. We did not have a lot of direction from the external forces mentioned by Mr. Thurman, those things that we tend to react to. On this go-around, we will have focus groups, and these focus groups will, are developed to align themselves with each individual region. The goals of the focus groups on this, in this opportunity is to be transparent and inclusive, to honor the input of citizens from the last strategic planning process, and to inform citizens on strategic planning, the process itself. The goal will also include, or goals will also include, hearing the voices of the stakeholders in a different way and reflecting on some of the things we've heard before, also listening to their input on the different external forces that tend to impact us as educators. And finally, this process will demonstrate that the process is proactive, again, as Mr. Thurman mentioned, rather than reactive. Phase 2 will include board adoption of strategic goal areas, performance objectives and measures, and the development of action steps necessary to execute the plan, and that will again follow the adoption of the goal areas. Phase 3 and 4, which is different than our first time with GSBA, Phase 3 and 4 actually are important to sustainability and the continuation of the plan, and really will drive the effectiveness of our implementation. Phase 3 is an alignment with the budget. In this particular planning opportunity, we will work to align the budget with our strategic plan and alignment with district departmental goals, which is different, alignment with school improvement plans, and alignment with the staff evaluations. So this will really help us in ensuring that the plan goes down to the classroom and the teacher and really impacts our entire district. Phase 4 includes an execution and monitoring plan. It includes the appointment of a strategic management oversight committee to monitor the implementation of the plan, monitor the measures, monitor our performance on each of the objectives, and it is an ongoing review and update of our progress on meeting our goals and objectives of the strategic plan. Those are the 4 phases that we will engage in between now and next summer, June of 2014, and at this time, Trent Arnold will come forward with our progress to date.
Thank you, Dr. Pringle. Members of the board, Exhibit B will provide you with the task and timelines associated with each of the 4 phases of the strategic planning process. On August 26th, a joint meeting with the members of the Board of Education Ad Hoc Committee, which include Dr. Karen Carter, Mr. John Coleman, and Mr. Thad Mayfield, as well as Superintendent Thurman, district employees, members of the Georgia School Boards Association, as well as the Georgia Leadership Institute for School Improvement, took place to complete the contract and revise a timeline to ensure a timely but thorough completion of all phases of the processes that Dr. Pringle just spoke about. Second, members of the strategic planning team have been identified. Their work will begin on September 26th and 27th in the form of a 2-day planning session to begin the work of identifying strategic goal areas. And finally, members of the community engagement focus group for each region are being identified and selected at this time. Each month, you will receive an update on the progress toward completion of all tasks relative to the appropriate phase of planning. Those tasks, again, appear in Exhibit B. This concludes our report for the September 2013 strategic planning process.
In closure, the reason we had Dr. Pringle and Mr. Arnold, who represent 2 of the 5 regional superintendents, one of the processes that we're doing differently this time around is that we are engaging. Mr. Thurman always says that you have to check, verify, and execute not only vertically but horizontally. And we are working through and under the partnership with the 5 regional superintendents so that we hear clearly and loudly from the 5 regions of the district, and we involve all of our school staff, our principals, our teachers, our auxiliary staff, our parents, our business leaders, our faith-based leaders, our nonprofit leaders within that process all across the district. And so, again, we will be back next month, and we will be tracking our progress and reporting out to the board and the public every month over the next year or so. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Do we have questions? Mr. Orson.
For your strategic planning team, are there any, any external stakeholders, or so could we get, if not names, at least kind of a description of the members of that committee?
Certainly. The planning team consists of approximately 40 individuals, and they do consist of both internal stakeholders and external stakeholders. And of course, that includes the superintendent. We have 1 board member. GSBA and GLSSI recommended that 1 board member serve on that planning team, and Dr. Karen Carter will be the board member that will sit on that planning team. We have senior staff, which consists of representatives from each one of the divisions. In addition to that, we have a principal from every region. We work through the regional superintendent to get 2 PTA presidents, 2 parent council presidents. We have teachers. We have auxiliary staff members. We have the principal of the year. We have the auxiliary member of the year. And we also have the teacher of the year sitting on that committee. We have representatives from nonprofits. We have representatives from faith-based. We have representatives from the DeKalb Chamber of Commerce, from the Development Authority, and the PTA. And so we have a well-rounded group that represents the school district from both internal and external.
Only thing and I'm not sure when, because these terms get used interchangeably, say the parent council. At least my one suggestion would be to have representatives both from.
We have 2 school council presidents as well.
So you have school council and parent council representatives?
Yes, we do. And PTA. School council, parent, and thank you for that.
Perfect.
School council, parent council, and PTA.
Thank you.
Okay.
Additional questions? Mr. McMahon?
Excuse me for asking this high-level question, but what do the blue blocks mean?
I'm sorry, repeat that, please.
What do the blue blocks on our exhibit mean?
The blue blocks on your exhibit represents a corporate model of a business model plan. And if you'll take a look at it, you have 4, 5, 6 distinct columns. Column number 1 numbers the tasks that will be completed over the next year. Column number 2 itemizes out each task that will be completed. Column number 3 gives you the resource that will be used to execute each one of the tasks. Column number 4, 5, and 6 breaks it down into 3 business quarters. And so you have the first quarter of the school year, which is July, September, and October. Then you get the second quarter, which is November, December, and January. Then we continue on until we reach the end of the period, which is June of 2014. And when you see the blue blocks, that's when the tasks are active.
So that's when they start?
That's when they are active. And so if I can give you an example, on the second page with task number 1.0, means that it starts in August and it will be completed by the end date there, which is August 31st. So somewhere between August 1 and August 31st, that item will be completed. And when you look at task number 2, same thing. And that goes all the way down till you get to task number 7, and then it starts in September. So the active date will start September 1st, and it will be completed by September 30th, and so on and so on.
When do we expect, based on this, am I missing anything? The first time we'll conduct community engagement sessions is in 4th quarter of this project, or am I missing something?
What page are you on?
That'd be the last page. This is item task code 337.
No,
Unless
task number 37, and it clearly reads that the community engagement sessions related to the development of